all the females doing that little 21 with no kids trend, do y'all think y'all better than us because y'all don't got no kids? Y'all talking about some 21 with no kids, more like 21 and y'all can't even find a man to give you no kids. That's why y'all are mad. Y'all are just trying to make yourselves feel better at the fact that no man wants y'all. And it sounds like projection to me. I'm just saying, I'm the messenger.
Don't know your situation, but I do know when someone's been triggered, and I'm always going to speak on that. Now, if you're triggered because being a mom is your personal identity, and anybody that just challenges that, it feels like a personal attack, I can understand that. But crashing out and criticizing people because they have a choice that differs from yours, I think we should talk about it. It was the who's going to take care of you. You'll just end up in a nursing home if you don't have kids. That really did it for me. Kids aren't here to validate you, comfort you, or take care of you when you get older. That's why you have a partner. And then don't even get me started on the women who are infertile. And we all know you're a mom. You've made that perfectly clear. But I just want you to be mindful. Your kids are learning from you. So if they're learning that, hey, anybody that has a differing opinion from me, I should crash out because I don't know how to emotionally regulate myself, because neither did my mom, I just want you to keep that in mind. Now, we can agree to disagree, but the video that I made was a response that we can accept people's choices being different from ours without it feeling like they're insulting us directly. And if you feel like you need more support, don't
Hey guys, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, we are talking about mothers who crashed out on the 21 with no kids challenge. And I want you to watch the full video so that you can get the full insight of what I am talking about. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.
The women with kids are mad. Not all the women, but the women who regret their kids and their decision, they're mad. They mad at the childless women who are participating in the childfree challenge where they bragging about having no kids. Why exactly, if you proud and happy to have your kids, would you be upset because women are bragging about not having kids? That doesn't make sense. But I'm going to ask you this. Why is it that as soon as you hear that a woman ain't got no kids, you jump immediately to she got some type of health condition where she can't have kids, or that she had a bunch of abortions? Why can't it just be she protects her body better than you did? I know that's scary. I know that's a hard pill to swallow, that you was just out here letting dudes just dump off in you, right? You just be letting them do whatever they want to. But then there's women who won't. I know, Pookeisha. There's girls who won't sleep around with a bunch of different men. And then there's girls who use protection. They get on birth control. They do whatever they have to do to make sure Pookie don't get them pregnant. You, on the other hand, played stupid games and won stupid prizes, right? But now you're mad. Whose fault is that? That you trusted your body and put it in the hands of some loser man, and now you stuck with a baby that you don't want? That sounds like a personal problem. But you got to stop jumping into saying that everybody going and getting all these abortions, or that they don't have the physical ability to have kids. You know how disrespectful that is to women who really can't have kids? It's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful, right? And it's just so sad that y'all are grown women who can't even control your own body. And it's funny because 1 minute it's your body, your choice. And then when you don't want to take responsibility for laying up with losers and getting pregnant, then all of a sudden he trapped you and you had no control over what was going on. And, you know, you go into child mode where you just this helpless little child and somebody took advantage of you and you had no say-so in the process. Right? Because you couldn't have been on no birth control or anything. And you can save the I was on birth control, condom busted. That ain't usually what happened with y'all. Stop it. Right? Stop it. Stop the games. But again, stop jumping left field just because you hear a woman ain't got no kids. All right? And if you love your kids so much, love your kids and stop being mad because women bragging about not having kids. Because guess what? One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to brag about not having no kids because I don't want them.
It's so sad that sometimes most mothers on the internet are always assuming the worst reasons as to why women are child-free. Some always say child-free women have just failed to get men to have kids with them. Like men are rejecting them, men don't want them, that's why they're not having kids. Sometimes you find these mothers on the internet saying that these child-free women have health conditions which are not allowing them to have kids, which is really sad. People should respect people's reasons as to why they are child-free. If someone tells you they are child-free by choice, you have to respect what they're telling you. You don't have to assume other reasons, because some reasons you're assuming are real to other people. For example, some people have healthy conditions that are not allowing them to give birth. So if you start playing around with that reason on the internet, it's really disrespectful to the people who are really going through it.
23 with no kids, why does that trigger you? Why that as a woman, you're triggered by the next woman who has reached a certain stage and doesn't have any children, or isn't a baby mother, or isn't a single mother? Why does that trigger you? Why are you offended by that? Just as you are happy in your circumstances, in your situation right now, why can't somebody else be happy in their circumstances and their situations right now? Why are you offended that somebody is 30 and doesn't have children and isn't a baby mother and is calling that a flex? Why does that trigger you? Is it because you are unhappy in your situation? Because as a woman with 2 children, a woman that is 30 or 40 with no kids and they are happy with that, I am happy for them. We as women has fought for so many years to try and be in situations that we are not judged by how many children we have, whether we don't have children, whether we have children, whether we are married, whether we're not married, whether we have fertility. We have fought so much to be in that situation. So why are you as a woman triggered by the next woman who fails, who doesn't have children and is celebrating that? Why are you triggered by that? It's bad enough that we have men who call women all sorts of names because they chose not to struggle in relationship and be by themselves. Some of you women are so triggered that you're calling women with no kids at a certain age, you're calling them either barren, you're calling them they've had abortions, you're actually even saying, you're going as far as saying that no man wants them, that's why they don't have any children. Why? Like, women,
y'all are embarrassing in these women doing that 21 with no kids challenge and the comments being bitter. I thought that's what we wanted, for women to live their life and not have kids at a young age. I thought we wanted these women to get married before having kids. Look, I am 32 and divorced now, but I was 23 married and no kids. And baby, it is a flex. Let them have it. Like, why y'all being mad about it because it didn't work out for you? That's okay. This is what I talk about when I talk about that comparative spirit that everybody have, to look at the next person doing better than them or having a better outcome than them and getting jealous instead of inspired. Getting jealous instead of congratulating. There's no reason y'all should be mad. I'm liking every last one. Every last one. Yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. In no way, shape, or form are they trying to belittle you because you have kids. I don't even know how y'all getting that out of the trend. Let them flex. The trend is not for you and it's okay. Just, if you don't like it, just keep it pushing. But I'm gonna like it every time, like I said. I love that.
I think it's very okay for young women to choose to wait when it comes to having children, because most of the young women sometimes emotionally and mentally, they're not yet ready to be mothers. They have a lot going on in their lives. Maybe they are pursuing their career, maybe they're enjoying their life, and they don't have the time to give all their attention to the children. So it is a better decision that is made because it is in the best interest of the children and the society. Because in most cases, when young women have children, when they are not ready to have children, in most cases they turn out to be very irresponsible mothers. This sometimes becomes a burden to the society, because these are the women sometimes you find when they're mistreating their children or they're not taking care of their children right. These women sometimes end up neglecting their children. So it's better when a young woman realizes that they're not yet ready to have children, to first wait so that they can first accomplish everything they want to accomplish. Then when they feel they are ready, they can then choose to have children.
We're mad about the 21 with no kids, children versus not having children lifestyle. People who don't have kids bragging about their ability to have all of their time, all of their money, all of their resources to themselves versus someone who has kids and the sacrifices they have to make. If you are upset, you fall in one of 2 categories, and I'm about to call you to the carpet, so go ahead and come here, babe. I'm gonna hug you when it's over, but we are gonna go ahead and talk about it. You're either someone who did not plan to have kids, maybe you didn't know you could have kids, you weren't trying to, you was just trying to do some grown-up stuff and you ended up with a baby. Or 2, you meant to have your baby and you thought that the other person was going to be a better parent and a better partner than what they actually were. They were not, and the brunt of the responsibility has fallen on you, and life has been hard and you have been struggling. As someone who has children who didn't plan to have any, I have twins. I was just being grown. I didn't plan the life that was about to unfold in front of me. I had to do a lot of unpacking as far as what my reality now was versus what I can't even say I had a reality prior to. I was someone who, sidebar, and this is me looking for my people, for the girls who were raised incredibly religious and did not see any value in yourself just in general, but you also, due to your religious background, did not have a lot of practice in dating, didn't have a lot of practice with the opposite sex, and didn't know how to maneuver those relationships, and didn't have anybody in your life who you could talk to who was experienced due to the fact that it was sinful behavior, come to the front. You have found your people, and I will stand in solidarity with you, because that's pretty much how I got here. I'm not mad at anybody but myself for making the decisions that I made. And I'm using the word mad for lack of a better word. This is just my reality. But what I'm not going to do is look at someone who does not have kids and is doing what they want and having their way in a very specific way that I cannot, and be upset with them because they're also seeing people like me who struggle. Especially with the internet, we have heard countless of horrifying stories. If someone was to look at that and think, oh God, I'm so glad that that's not me, I completely understand. The reason why you're mad is because you really haven't done the work to accept your reality and then make plans on how you're going to move forward. Very much so stuck in the fact that you're not that girl before the kids. You aren't going to be able to have the same lifestyle. Even if you accomplish a million things, it's going to look differently as a parent. Now, y'all can argue in the comments all you want to, but I'm watching a lot of these people who are upset about the content, and it's very obvious, it's very clear just in what y'all are saying. But at some point, it does get weird because you still have to take care of your children. And to me, it gives resentment in a way that it does make me wonder, how are you parenting? How are you parenting these children who you...
All y'all that's mad about that 21 and no kids trend, why do y'all have y'all panties in a bunch? Mind you, all the girls did was get on here and dance. Y'all act like the girls got on here and start talking about y'all kids. Y'all be getting on here every day talking about y'all kids, showing off y'all kids. So mind you, that's a good thing. I don't mind seeing the kids, but as soon as somebody get on here and talking about they ain't got no kids, y'all want to tussle in the comments. Mind you, all the girls did was get on here and dance. They in the comments talking about something, y'all making it seem like having kids are a bad thing. Ain't nothing wrong with having kids. Nothing wrong with having kids. Ain't nobody said anything was wrong with having kids. Nobody said having kids was a bad thing. So y'all are projecting in people's comments. Like, do y'all even like... Okay, I'm gonna not ask that question. But anyways, y'all see people are childless and proud of the fact that they ain't got no kids, and y'all took that like it was a personal attack to every woman in America. Listen, we don't mind y'all having y'all kids. Y'all can show off y'all kids every day. We don't give a damn. But when we say we don't have no kids, leave us alone. Listen, I'm 29, I ain't got no kids, and y'all ain't finna tussle with me in my comments, because
You also find some mothers judging women on the internet for being child-free by choice. These are the mothers sometimes you're going to be finding saying that women who don't have children by choice, they're not serving their purpose as women on earth. They look down on them all the time, and then they start even saying like, oh, you've chosen to just go partying instead of having children. That is so irresponsible. You've chosen to just travel the world. You're so selfish. They judge them in a way, but I think no one should judge another person for their choices, because everyone has a right to make a choice in their life that they think is better for them.
I saw some footage of the 21 with no kids Jacquees challenge, but what got me the most was these negative comments that these women are making. And I hate to say this, I even heard somebody say you 21 with no kids, or 24, whatever have you a certain age with no kids, but what have you accomplished? Here I go, I'm gonna tell you what they accomplished. Everything. I was 16 when I had my first son. My son is now 33, he'll be 34 this year, and he has what? No kids. I think that is a big accomplishment in the times that we live in today, when you are a certain age, 21, 25, 30, and with no kids. I think that's a big accomplishment in itself. Let me tell you why. Because the only thing you have to be concerned about is you in your life. When you get kids, it's not about you anymore. It's about your kids, and all the decisions that you make surround your kids. So big ups to all the women that are 21, 16, 15, 35, 48, 50 with no kids. Because guess what? You beat the odds. Want me to tell you why? Regardless of what people saying about you living in a house with no cats, you did not put somebody in your world that you weren't ready for. That's right, I said it. Ain't nobody else gonna say it. You did not involve somebody in your world that what? When you don't like the daddy, you mad at the child. Or when you don't like the daddy, you mistreat the child. Or you neglect your child because you put your child on the back burner and put you first. Yeah. So big ups to all those women out there with no kids, and even all the men out there with no kids. Because I tell my son all the time, because he ain't where I think he need to be in life, but I say, I tell you one thing about you, I respect, son. You didn't mess nobody else's life up by putting a kid, bringing a child into this world that they would have to take care of by themselves. So I salute all those women out there that's on these videos, and I hope y'all dance y'all butt off to be a certain age with no kids. Because guess what? All you got to worry about is you. And guess what? You ain't mistreating no kids. And guess what? You still got time. You still got time. So I'm proud of all of y'all. I ain't no hate.
I don't understand this whole trend. 25 with no kids, 32 with no kids. I'm trying to understand the point. I'm trying to understand what are you getting at? What do you want? What are you looking for? Nothing more that confuses me than a woman who is so happy in her life. She's happy about the little party life and drinking life and poom life. But come online and accuses another woman of not being happy about her life because she's not living the way you're living. But then I can easily argue like, okay, well, obviously you're not happy with your life because you're coming online for some type of attention grab. I mean, what are you looking for? What do you want, my love? You want some cookies? What do you want, baby? Matter of fact, snaps to those women. Moment of silence for those women. It comes to a time where you just gotta feed into the girlies who just look for attention. You know, those type of women who do those things, y'all just looking for attention, looking for some type of love in your life. Because obviously you're not happy. I mean, because I would think if every weekend you had Turks and Caicos and you drinking Henny and you dangling Don Julio over your head, I would think you're happy. I mean, why wouldn't you be happy? Because you're promoting this lifestyle. You post this lifestyle on Instagram. You're influencing this lifestyle, so you must be happy. But then you come online and you make a whole nother trend bashing women with kids, women who may like to cook and clean for their kids, who may like to take their kids out on trips and may like to live their family life. I just don't understand how someone who's happy within their lifestyle could come online and bash another woman for being happy about hers. And then it's going to be the whole entire, oh, but you know, we had the baby mama. Let me tell you something. A wife can easily become a baby mama, especially if that man and that woman is not equally yoked, and that's not who God intended her for. That's why we have such things called divorce. There's also studies. There's people are not getting married nowadays. Men are full of shit. Women are also full of shit. It's just not working. We have more people willing to be a baby mama than we do having people willing to get married. I mean, is it really a child issue or is it just a commitment issue?
At this point of time in this era, I think people should learn to respect other people's opinions and decisions in life, because we should not crash out on other people's opinions because it is their life. So in most cases, you find people on the internet, if they don't agree with someone else's lifestyle, they start looking down on them. They start crashing out on them. They start producing videos trying to attack them. And then you start wondering, like, who makes you think like your opinion is better than the other person's opinion? I think people should understand that no one is better than the other. We are just trying to live life. We're trying to make it work. We're trying to figure out life. No one has it figured out. If you think like you have it figured out, then I think you are not thinking. You're not thinking right, because a normal human being cannot tell me that they have everything figured out, because if you've lived life, you know better. So I think we have to learn right now in the era we are living in that people have their different opinions.
Now y'all in an uproar about the 21 and no kids challenge. I just don't understand why people are so consumed with other people's lives and what they do with their bodies and how they choose or choose not to procreate. It is none of your business. I feel like it's a great thing that they are making a conscious decision to say, I don't hold the capacity, the mental, physical capacity to have a baby. Or some of them are simply just saying, I don't want to do it. I have no desire to have a kid, and that is perfectly okay. Matter of fact, I love the aunties that are 30 and older that's saying 31, 32 with no kids, because that really means that you really thought this thing out and decided. You were able to consciously look at your nieces and nephews or people around in your family and saying, I don't want to do it. And that is perfectly fine. I love my child to death, but I knew I had to be one and done, because the physical and the mental space that you have to raise a child, it's a lot. And I have a great child, would not change her for the world, but it is a lot. And to say at 20 years old when I had my baby that I was mentally ready, I wasn't. So for people to be 21 and say they don't hold the capacity right now to have a kid, it's perfectly fine, y'all. Y'all have got to stay out of people's business. And then on the other end, if they were 21 with 3 kids and then on government assistance, y'all have something to say about that as well. So what it boils down to, what it's giving is, y'all just want to regulate and tell people what they need to be doing with their lives and their bodies. And y'all got to figure out, y'all got to find something else to do with y'all lives. It's giving, are you jealous? Because, not saying you got trapped, but you had kids and now you're regretting it. Because why are you so hell bent on trying to be upset with people being excited or loving the fact that they can get up and move and do what they want to do without having to consider a kid? I'm telling you right now, I need to go call my gynecologist right now to get mine laid and burnt to the side. Get it together, Carmen. Fried, dyed, and laid to the side. I do. I need to figure out how to get my tools tied right now, because I have no desire.
So the women who were celebrating being 21 with no kids on the internet really got some mothers on the internet mad, and mothers were crashing out on this 21 with no kids challenge that was carried out by women with no kids. And I think this is something that is not called for. Mothers are not supposed to be triggered by such women, because in most cases you find like these women were just enjoying themselves and celebrating that they are embracing their life that they're living. They're living their authentic lives, because when someone makes a choice in life and they really like it, I think it's okay for people to celebrate their choices. And this does not mean that they're attacking mothers. I think they're just enjoying themselves and celebrating the fact like they made a decision that was not influenced by the society, that was not influenced by anyone. They made the decision themselves. I saw also child-free women who were attacking mothers, but I think it should not be all about attacking each other. People should respect each other's choice, because at the end of the day, even if a mother comes out and celebrate being a mother, they're not attacking child-free women. They're just celebrating the fact like they made a choice that they really love, that they really like. They're just enjoying being mothers on the internet, and it's okay for them to also share their journey as mothers on the internet. It's okay for them to share motherhood on the internet, because they're trying to show their life and trying to show how they're living their authentic lives, and people should respect that. I always hear people say like everyone has a right to live their lives the way they want to. And I think people should remember that all the time whenever they are trying to attack others on the internet for living their lives. What is going on is that people are really attacking people for living their lives, which is not really okay. When someone comes out on the internet, because I had another woman who was saying that if you're really happy being child-free, why are you coming on the internet to celebrate it? I want to tell you one thing, that in this era we are in, it is very okay for people to come and share their lives on the internet. And it's okay not to understand someone's life on the internet. If you don't understand it, you rather keep quiet instead of attacking the person, because no one is perfect. No one knows it all. And we don't know what we are doing. We are just trying to do what we think is right, but no one has it figured out. We need to just start respecting one another on the internet, because this is the internet. Everyone has a right to share their lives and to show you what is making them happy. So if someone is telling you that they're happy because they're mothers, you don't have to rethink this. This is her life, and she's telling you she's happy because she's a mother. She's happy that she made the right choice for herself. So if she tells you that, you as a child-free woman, you don't have a right to say otherwise. You don't have to start thinking like the mother is suffering. The mother has told you she's happy, she's enjoying motherhood. That is all you have to respect. That is what I call respect. Respect what someone has told you and believe it. Same applies to mothers. If a child-free woman tells you they are happy and they're posting on the internet, showing that they're happy, enjoying their lives, embracing their choice that they made in life, you don't have to rethink their decision. You don't have to assume that you know better. You have to understand that this person made the decision and they're telling you how they feel. They're happy with their decision, and respect their decision. Respect that they're happy with their decision. That's all you have to do. I think when we do that, life will be more easier. When we learn to respect each other's decisions on the internet and in real life, this can help everyone to live their best life. Because how do you live your best life is when you are allowed to be authentic. And how can you be authentic? When your decisions in life are not influenced by the society, they're not influenced by anyone in your life, but you make your own decisions. This will help people to become the better versions of themselves. And this is what we need. What you have to understand, when people show up as their authentic selves in the society, this is something that is good for them and the society, because this will help you be a better person for yourself and the people around you. Because you realize most people who are not living their authentic lives, they hate themselves so much. And when people hate themselves so much, they end up even hating others. That's why you find in most cases, people who are triggered by other people's choices, they are not living their authentic lives. They are living fake lives. So because they are living fake lives, they're not happy. So anyone who comes up and shows off that they're living their authentic life, this really triggers them. These people who live their authentic life, they're like a mirror to these guys, because they remind them of their insecurities that are stopping them from living their authentic lives. They remind them of the decisions they've made in life which are not really authentic to their lives. And with that said, I think child-free women and mothers should respect each other. It's okay to have different life choices because it is a personal choice, and people should respect that. That's it for today. If you have anything to add on this topic, you can share your thoughts in the comment section. And it's still your girl Joanne, complete as always. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I'd like to wish you a wonderful day. Take care of your beautiful lives. I love you guys. Until next time. Bye.